Hi, I'm Ian Rinion, an independent alternative media practitioner, among other things. Today is the 13th of August 2024, at least by the time of this video. And to all my brother knights out there around the world, happy fiesta sa inyong lahat and a happy feast day for Blessed Michael McGivney. That's why I have a Knights of Columbus patch there. I am a member of the Knights of Columbus, and basically this is our feast day, fiesta, whatever. But and that's also the reason why I angled the camera like this, because you have the workstation all there, whatever. But anyway, this is a brood banter because, well, I don't have a script, but it's slightly scripted, but it's something that I've already published on Substack. So yeah, I might do some commentary about it, but either way, it's a brood banter nonetheless. So and besides, it's around 7 in the morning at this point of this recording. So tara, kape tayo. Well, I have a lot of things to sort out in these past few days. One of them happens to be um, getting another job. So it's unfortunate because I just got laid off, and I really loved the job that I had. But it is what it is. That's all that I can say. So that's basically the life update that I have. Kaya medyo naging frequent na rin yung ano ko pag-upload ko. It's not necessarily video content like this, but more of audio content with just my logo and nothing else. Maybe a bit of graphics and all that, but not that much kasi because of the volatility and the uncertainty, and maybe even the constant uh, cycle, or the constant and rapid cycle of events, especially on social media, I have to be updated as well on a lot of things regarding social media stuff. And yes, I did tackle MrBeast for the past few videos, and this is another one. But the reason why I am recording is because I wanted to read to you my latest Substack article. I really wanted this to be an episode of the Intrepid show, pero kasi uploadan ko pa, tapos pamplano ko sana dalawang parts. Kaso wala na akong oras. Sobrang gahol ako sa oras kasi I also have to apply for another job after this. So that's that. Either way, I really hope that I can read this. I can read this or after. I mean, before this video goes 30 minutes kasi wala nang edit to. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is my Substack article called "The Troubles of a House Divided." I will also link it in the YouTube description below this video. And it reads like this: Thus saith the Lord, every kingdom divided against itself shall be made desolate, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. There are a lot of applications for this piece of sacred scripture, but more so for events that are currently unfolding as I was writing this, and as I am recording this, to be honest. So, first one is regarding the Carlos Yulo, or the Yulo family feud between Carlos and his mother Angelica. That's the thing that I promise this is gonna be very short kasi around 2/3 ng article na to ay tungkol kay MrBeast. So that's that. So for one of the applications is a certain Filipino athlete which garnered international sports and pop culture headlines because of his mother airing and clearing the family's dirty laundry in public, and not his double gold win. Of course, I'm talking about Olympian gymnast Carlos Yulo and his achievements, as well as his mother Angelica for having a fallout of relations due to matters that are best addressed in private, away from the prying eyes of both the cynical and mainstream and social media and the public in general. So kahit ako naisip ko I really wanted to talk about this that much, pero iniksiyan ko lang talaga kasi this is a private family matter. Wala tayo dito. Labas tayo dito, mga kababayan. Okay? Parang awan nyo na, tigilan nyo na to. Kumbaga, I don't wanna sound I don't wanna sound pontificating or that stuff, pero I hope that I am one of the last to tackle this because we really need to focus on Yulo's double gold win as well as Ira Villegas and Nesty Petesio and their bronze medals. So that's that. But suffice it to say that this prompted Yulo to find warmth and solace elsewhere, which he eventually found in his partner, Australia-based Filipina Chloe San Jose, this is the girlfriend, as well as other athletics-related supporters and benefactors. Now, while we try to reason out how to accept the matter and move forward, many who profess themselves to be Christians quote the fourth commandment, and yes, we go with the Catholic numbering, the Catholic nomenclature, and not the Protestant one, because we know that thou shalt not have any gods beside me and thou shalt not have any graven images is the same first commandment. But needless to say, this commandment goes as honor thy father and thy mother. However, in doing so, we also must contextualize it with the Apostle St. Paul's nuanced exhortation about the said commandment in his epistle to the Ephesians and the Colossians in order to not sound as if it is all about parental authority when it is about mutual respect and understanding between parents and offsprings. St. Paul told the Ephesians, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for it is just. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest be long lived upon earth. And ye fathers and mothers, provoke not your children to anger, but bring them up in discipline and correction of the Lord." St. Paul's exhortation to the Colossians is a bit longer than the one he wrote to the Ephesians, but ito yung part na concerning relationship between parents and children. Sabi ni San Pablo, "Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing to the Lord. Fathers, provoke not your children to indignation, lest they be discouraged. For he that doeth wrong shall receive for that which he hath done wrongfully, and there is no respect of persons with God." Now, while it is indeed true that the Messiah came not to give peace but the division of the sword, according to the Gospels of St. Matthew and St. Luke, and that he was to be the cause of division and enmity between father and son, between mother and daughter, and between three against two, we should try to resolve such things and convince each other to deny ourselves, carry our crosses, and follow the Messiah who taught such things. And who's the Messiah? Yeah, that guy on the cross. Well, I actually have two crucifixes. That one, regalo sa akin. But the one on top, yeah, that's my own crucifix. That's basically the guy we have to follow and carry our crosses, no matter how heavy and how hard it is. Because we must remember, a house divided against itself cannot stand. Now, another household that was divided itself to the point of downfall is the MrBeast Media Enterprise, headed by James Stephen Jimmy Donaldson, more known for his stage name MrBeast. Now, the accusation was made when Dawson, or the former MrBeast employee who became a whistleblower known as Dogpack 404, accused Donaldson of first allegedly being fraud, and now the second video is allegedly him being a sociopath. At may part 3 pa yon. So, abang-abang lang. Abangan ng susunod na kabanata. and this accusation was um, done by a stand-up comedian who once worked for MrBeast. Now, the accusation was made when Dawson interviewed Jake Weddle, which is another former employee whose final involvement with the company was him being invited in a challenge that left him physically and mentally scarred. Yes, he was physically and mentally scarred. Now, to summarize, Weddle accused the company behind the MrBeast branding of allegedly torturing him, which profoundly speculated that the incident and similar events across the world were violating the Geneva Convention on treating people in conducting an investigation. Now, at this point, allow me to change hats here because, well, it's not really tinfoil, pero mukha naman siyang tinfoil itong mga reflector vests na to. So, yeah, this is my reflector cycling cap if you're and since it looks like tin, might as well, because these correlations are merely speculations, and besides, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what they really are by the end of this article, because those who are people of the book, the Abrahamic religions, argued that Donaldson is the Antichrist, the beast whose mark and number would be branded on the damned ones like an animal. And pasensya na kung medyo nagpapaka steering speech ako kasi parang parang preacher to o pari na parang nag-aakusa na ye hypocrites. But currently, arguments against Donaldson's vetting processes identified at least 6 factors proving that he may indeed be the Antichrist, such as 1. The year of his birth, 1998. Mas matanda lang siya ng isang taon do sa bunso kong kapatid, which could be equally divisible by 3 to have the quotient of 666, the number of the beast. 2. Allowing the term beast to be part of his online personality. 3. The beast icon or branding on YouTube fitting the bill on what was described by the Book of Revelation. Just look it up. Magbasa kayo. Wag kayo, hindi ko kayo spoon feed. Kailangan basahin ninyo ang Biblia. 4. The fact that he was using his charity work not only to profit but also to influence opinions about him. 5. Donaldson being a former Christian abandoning his faith to serve Mammon, because you cannot serve both God and Mammon for that matter. And 6. His current girlfriend, Thea Boysen. I do have code names here pero basahin nyo lang sa Substack. Let's just say kung si Jimmy Donaldson ay Mr. Beast, maybe Thea Boysen is Miss Babylon. I'm just speculating. Anyway, Thea Boysen is actually a writer, and she wrote a book called The Marked Children. Sounds familiar? Because it could also be alluded to Donaldson's perspective of implanting Elon Musk's Neuralink technology into humans. Come to think of it, pwede siyang application nung mark of the beast and number of the beast. So, I mean, but hey, that's just a theory, a Christian theory. Anyway, well, those claims could actually be borderline or actually schizophrenic. And I'm taking this lightly anyway. But you know what? The Logos' argument, the Logos, the word made flesh, you know him, that guy upstairs, that guy. His argument remains the same. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And this is also appropriate to all of Donaldson's employees, especially after the predatory allegations against Ava Chris Tyson, which is Donaldson's childhood friend, and Charles Delaware Jefferson, who is actually the brother-in-law of Jake the Viking Franklin, whose first tweets regarding the Chris Tyson and MrBeast drama was Jimmy knew. And It turns out Jake also knew. Now, with Tyson fired from the company and Jefferson under fire for being a registered SEX offender while working for a media firm primarily catered to children, mind you, as well as Franklin's backpedaling on his criticism of Donaldson and Tyson due to Jefferson being the husband of his sister, the only reliable ally or employee Donaldson has is his acting publicist, Chucky Appleby, who attempted to debunk Dawson's first YouTube video, which accused Donaldson of being a fraud while also facing a lot of heat from multiple sides. But you may ask me, is it 3 against 2 and 2 against 3 as it was written, or was it a free for all as some see it? You know what? Only time can tell. Franklin erroneously said as well that he expected that the charges against Jefferson would be dropped later this year, but several YouTubers and legal experts said that what the Viking meant was Jefferson's sentence of being an registered sex offender, an RSO, would allegedly be expunged. When we say expunged, it's taken off the record, but the charges or the sentencing or the his records would stay the same, or his records would stay. That's it. Now, in another twist, Nathan Wayman, the Discord moderator who accused Tyson of inappropriate online behavior towards minors, said that the accusations that Franklin knew that his brother-in-law was an RSO prodded by Drama Alert presenter Daniel Keemstar. Actually, Daniel Keem yung pangalan niya, pero we know him as Keemstar, as was a mere distraction to quote-unquote take the heat off of MrBeast and redirect the attention to Franklin. Now, let's just say that Keemstar's involvement in this drama is another can of worms in itself. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not Boysen would take Donaldson's side as the girlfriend or that of his ex-girlfriend, Maddie Spidel, who also took advantage of the chaos by sharing cryptic messages on social media that allegedly alluded to Donaldson before locking all of her accounts once journalists became curious. Now, to add to the allegations, Jimmy's mother, Sue Donaldson, a former U.S. military officer and prison warden, is heavily involved, allegedly, in her son's operation. In exchange, Donaldson himself allegedly took inspiration from his mother's former job for some of his content, including the alleged torture of Weddle. Now, as this article is being finished, I was also informed about another certain YouTuber named Ty Orr who accused the MrBeast firm of allegedly stealing his ideas for a video and not compensating him for it, except for the expenses related to traveling from his location to Greenville, North Carolina, where Donaldson's headquarters is located. Now, here's the thing. It was also alleged that Ty Orr also launched a GoFundMe to uh help him to have himself repaid, but that's a bad move according to other YouTubers. So yeah, that's a bit of a shaky ground. But the fact that he was also ripped off by MrBeast uh, by not paying him is also a good argument in itself. Now, on the other hand, meanwhile, Appleby also messaged Dawson directly in an attempt to allegedly allow the whistleblower to assist in the investigations of the law firm Quinn Emanuel. But given its reputation of intense corporate and legal litigation, including the defense of Boeing due to its numerous technical and corporate issues um, in the past few years, two Boeing 737 MAX crashes, and maybe chuck in Starliner in there as well. Because of all those, Dawson obviously denied the offer. Now, to conclude, While the criminal charges would not be likely due to the immensity of the MrBeast branding, it is safe to say that the reputation of Donaldson and his crew have been tainted, a matter that was concurred by the court of public opinion. And I actually called it. I'm one of those who called it that this might trigger an adpocalypse. Kaya nga medyo may pag Book of Revelation thing yung yung schizo schizo part nung ng article na to eh. But you know what? Given all that, yeah, it might trigger an adpocalypse, and it's not a matter of how, but a matter of when. Or it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And there are people on both sides of such topic discussions who have seemed to avoid the mistakes that were made in the past, even to the point of repeating it unknowingly. You remember George Santayana's quote, "Yeah, it also applies here." Because our task is not to repeat or to avoid the mistakes of our forebears and everyone else, for that matter, but to address them head on. Perhaps with doubt, but always with courage. It will never be easy mending a house divided because repeating their mistakes or avoiding it is. Nevertheless, this is the rough road towards the ultimate goal and good of any objective, and perhaps the unity we long to achieve. And for that, I raise a toast to everyone who is still sensible in this kind of situation. Those who have been burning the evening, or I don't know, who's been spending long nights and days tackling all of this, especially because the future of YouTube, the future of social media is on the bloody line. And I guess also to those who have called it, called that the MrBeast thing might trigger an adpocalypse, especially upper echelon. I just watched his latest video prior to recording this, so big shout out to you, upper echelon, and I just hope that we would survive the adpocalypse. Cheers. For the time being, I guess I was thinking of uh, making a business prospect of, you know, selling coffee. Or yeah, I mean, I just bought this coffee grinder. Pwede ko siyang anahin. Pwede ko siyang i-review. Next, parang ito yung pangatlong review ko technically. Kasi 2 months last year, oh my goodness, nahulog yung crack na ito. Pulutin ko na lang after the recording. But anyway, this is basically a coffee grinder, a manual coffee grinder, and I might as well invest as well with all of the other coffee stuff. Para naman may extra income ako. We'll see. Pero I really wanted to sell coffee because I've been doing brewed banters. Might as well do it while I'm selling coffee. Bahala na. But anyway, that's for me to think about. Don't worry about it. Anyway, with all that said, this is Intrepid the Antichrist reminding you to at all times, now more than ever, be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. Until then, look alive, stay alive, be kind to yourself and to each other, and please, for the love of everything that is holy, do not message or even interact with underage people, with minors, especially especially online. Okay, let them be annoying, but let their parents deal with it, deal with their annoyance with you. Okay, yun lang naman. And also, if you're a brother knight alongside me, happy fiesta to all of you, and may Blessed Michael McGivney pray for us all. Pray for our order. That's it. And as always, thank you for watching from here in Intrepid HQ. Happy Fiesta, and see you next time. Ian out.